Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are continuing the True Boxing annual top 10s as we're going to look at my number 8 middleweight in the world right now, and that is Contender Shane Mosely Jr. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So Shane Mosely Jr., had scored a couple decent wins, and because this division was so wide open, I gave him the number 10 spot entering 2024. But I don't think anybody really took him serious. To be honest, I didn't, but he had a couple decent wins. It was a wide open division, and I said, well, he probably deserves the number 10 spot. But that was open to, discussion, to interpretation. So, I wasn't really expecting much. I thought if he got a shot at somebody, he would lose. Well, he decided to move up to 168 to have an opportunity to face former two-time world champion and returning Daniel Jacobs. And he absolutely would cash in on this opportunity. He would outbox and outclass Jacobs in July to to a one-sided 10-round unanimous decision. And that just kind of set him aside, and he didn't even fight at middleweight. He took the rest of the year off. He didn't even fight at middleweight the remainder of the year. And now he's highly rated in pretty much every governing body. He's number 4 in the IBF right now. He's currently number 2 in the WBA. He's number 4 in the WBC, and he's number 2 in the WBO. This dude is highly rated, and because of his name recognition, I think that's part of it. He moves up 2 spots to number 8 from number 10. 34 years old, though. You would think he was younger than that just because he's a junior and because he's now blossoming. But Shane Mosely is, fighting the best the best. He's hitting his peak, his prime right now as a fighter. Excuse me. Overall, he's 22-4, 12 knockouts. It doesn't seem overly impressive, but with him being so highly regarded, I mean, Shane Mosely has an opportunity because of his name to really cash in on something. Now, looking at where he's ranked in the IBF, Janabek Alamanhalai is the reigning unified champ. Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be fighting Conor Benn. He's the number 3 contender. There is no number 1. Number 2 is Ethanosa Oliha. Mosley's the next highest rated contender at number 4. Would he fight Oliha to become mandatory at a belt that is not a mandatory is not due? Janabek actually has an optional defense because he made his mandatory. So I don't see him going after the IBF title. Then you have the WBA belt, and this one might be the one that is most likely. Erislandy Lara is currently he hasn't been ordered to face his number 1, Yoenli Hernandez. So technically, especially with the WBA, he probably can fight Mosely if he wants. And I really wouldn't be surprised if Erislandy Lara gave Shane Mosely Jr. a chance here. Name recognition means a lot. And I think he might just face him because he's sitting there at number 2. Then in the WBC, you got Adamas and Hamza Shiraz are fighting in a mandatory fight. Mosely sitting at number 4. You got Eubank at number 2 and Mylurim Nursultanov sitting there at number 3. I really don't see Mosely fighting a guy who doesn't have a big name to become the mandatory of a mandatory fight that's already happening. Perhaps Shiraz would fight Mosely in an optional defense after the big time fight with Adames. We'll see. And then you got in the WBO, Denzel Bentley looks like he's going to be getting the crack at Janabek Alamanhalai for the unified title in a rematch with Mosely sitting at number 2. Would Mosely wait around for a mandatory fight there against Fyodor Shurkagian, who's not a big name? So what I think Mosely is doing is lobbying to try to get a big fight and a title shot all wrapped in one. And I really think Mosely has a very good chance of landing the Erislandy Lara fight. I think Mosely is going to get a title shot this year. I really do. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I think it could be Lara. I think it could be somebody else. But I do think Mosley's going to get his crack this year, and we're going to see what he does with it. So an exciting year. Mosely's earned his spot, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in 2025 and if he gets a world title shot. So that's it. That's what I got. That is my number 8 middleweight in the world right now at 160 pounds, Contender Shane Mosely Jr. as the True Boxing annual top 10s continue. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing, and you've been hit with the truth.